Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? This is Neil with Portal to Ascension. I'm extremely excited to be with you guys and to be embarking on a journey through the Maya Empire today. So, how is everybody? Go ahead and let us know in the chat room. Today, guys, we're going to be exploring the Maya Empire. And this is 3 years really of acquiring footage and images. Actually, it's 4 years really, because we would have been there for a fourth year last year in 2020 if it wasn't for the current world situation. So quite a lot of footage and experiences down there. And now we're going to start actually taking individuals on tour. We were going to go on tour in November, and I'll show you about it a little bit about it later. But now we've pushed the tour back to 2021. So this is great for anybody who's especially interested in going to the area by yourself or going on tour with us. You get to really kind of have an overall look of not only the entire peninsula, many places, of course, couldn't go to all of them, right? And so you're going to get look of the peninsula as a whole, and you can also learn about the history today, because I really want to have a thorough conversation today about this topic, right? So, and if you would like to, let's all join together in this moment, because as I like to say, and many people do say as well, is that when there's more than it's a really a missed opportunity if there's two or more people together and we're not setting a collective intention to better us, the betterment of ourselves, for all of humanity, for all the cosmos, for all antiquity. So, since we're all here now, gathered from all around the world, let's just take a few moments and just start breathing normally. Breathing in through your nose, out through the mouth. Becoming present with every breath, feeling the air go in through your nostrils, into your lungs, and then exhaling from your throat, out of your mouth. And today we set our intention to expand our consciousness. And through the avenue today, we are expanding our consciousness by understanding the ancient past of an integral part of really of humanity's ancient past. But to be more specific, we're going to be exploring Central America. And these tribes really did come from other places, not just Central America. So as we breathe, we set our intention, whatever intention you may have for this experience, whether it's to have fun, to learn, to go on a vacation, to check out these ancient sites without having to be there right now, for remembering when you went there yourself and how it was, for missing areas that you didn't get to see. And I know there are a good amount of people right now that are actually in Tulum or Playa del Carmen, in those areas. And so they're actually in the peninsula right now, and they're going to be watching this from there. So just set your intention, keep breathing. And on the next inhale, we're going to let out an om. So inhale, deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, om. Om. And do two more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, om. Om. One last time. Exhale, om. Om. All right. So interestingly enough, everybody knows, like, most of you guys know Portal to Ascension. We do conscious spiritual events. Definitely going to put an Om in there somewhere, right? But did you know that the Om is actually connected some way through the Mayan into the Mayan culture? So we're going to get into that a little bit today too, about the Mayan dialect and their language and how it could possibly connect to ancient India. And that's just going to be a little snippet of this presentation here. And if you actually listen to Maya descendants speak, they actually sound like they're speaking ancient Sanskrit. And it's so amazing when they hit these vowels almost like chants, and some sounds even sound like the chakra chant sounds. So I did that Om for a reason, really to connect these indigenous tribes all the way across on different sides of the planet. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here, let you guys know about what's coming up for us at Portal to Ascension. And right now, you are a part of this event here, Journey Through the Maya Empire. We are relaunching, well, we are launching a brand new website within the next couple of weeks. So you're going to see a lot of new things on our site, and it's going to be really amazing, especially the back end archives where you get to view the footage. Coming up next weekend, we have Trisha McCannon, Hidden History of the Goddess, which will be a truly amazing event as well. Everything Trisha does with us has been so epic. And then right after that, on February 6th, we have the first ever Institute for Exoconsciousness 1 day conference, which is an event providing tools and techniques in order to expand your consciousness to include the consciousness of the cosmos, which includes interdimensionals and extraterrestrials. And this nonprofit organization that's dedicated to that with people from all over the world, Rebecca Hardcastle is a key member of it. We're going to be doing their first ever conference on Portal to Ascension. And then right after that, we have William Henry, Love and the Angelic Uprising webinar. And then after that, Kathleen Martin, who is actually the grand niece of Betty and Barney Hill, right? If you guys have heard of that UFO case. So she's an experiencer herself. And then February is our remote viewing month. We have remote viewing project management from someone who actually used to work for those three-letter agencies in order to remote view certain things for them. And then also we have the remote viewing class coming up with Alan Steinfeld, which is going to be a 4-week class. So if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and check it out on the website and sign up over there. And if you can't afford to attend, we do have a donation policy right now, or no one turned away. So please do let me know if you want to attend. Welcome to Journey Through the Maya Empire. And a little bit about Portal to Ascension in case you guys do not know, or if you do know, but you might not know the whole story. I really started creating Portal to Ascension. The group was actually created in 2006, but it wasn't the group Portal to Ascension at that point. It was called 2012 Consciousness, Mind and Evolution and Presence. And you can check out my whole bio really on my website under the About section of Portal to Ascension. But to give you a little synopsis of it, I was raised in the UK in London, West London. I moved to the US when I was 12, born and raised in a Hindu family. My mom's pretty religious, not hardcore fundamentalist, but she's religious. So I grew up in this culture where Hinduism was my religion, but I really didn't truly believe it. Like if I look back at any of it, and I think like, did I ever have a moment where I was connecting to the Hindu gods and really felt like, oh my God, this is my way? I never really had that. I do have like I guess most people, the only times really I was at any of these traditional ceremonies and events that I actually said anything to God was when I was going through a hard time in my life, right? Which I've noticed a lot of people don't really say anything to connect to God until those moments. So it really wasn't anything that was, part of my existence, even though I was raised in it. I didn't really resonate with it. So I moved to the US when I was 12. I went to high school here and then I went to college. And when I went into college, I started discovering a lot of information. I went on an exploration of ancient text. I started exploring the seven tablets of creation, the Sumerian tablets of creation, listening to people like Jordan Maxwell, Nassim Haramein, and then also Jim Self. Those are three people that I connected with in the beginning. And then also William Henry. He was one of the individuals I first started watching. He was on Netflix in 2002, 2003, I think it was. And so I started watching all those videos and eating it up, and they were talking about sound, vibration, frequency, extraterrestrials, ancient civilizations, and how these ancient civilizations connected to religions, right? So I started looking at my own upbringing from a whole entirely different angle, and I actually started embracing Hinduism a little bit, not embracing it as like the one way, but embracing it as I was embracing the history of all religion. And I wanted to find out what the root of all religion is. That was my goal. Portal to Ascension, all the events we've ever created, why you're here right now, and if you've attended any of other events, really they all stemmed from, of course, trauma as a child that I was trying to heal was one thing, but then also it stemmed from me on the search for the root of all religion. If there are so many similarities in all these ancient texts, why are we all talking about our differences all the time? right? Why do these religions talk about why they're so different and how one way is the right way to heaven and the other way isn't, when they all come from original source? And one a good example of this would be the story of Krishna and the story of Christ. You know, Krishna and Christ, if you look at a list of every single personality trait and life experience and situation, it's almost like check, check, check for Krishna and Jesus. So things like that made me realize, wait a second, the story of Krishna is much older than the story of Jesus. Either this was an older story and they took from that older story, or all of this is BS. So that started my journey into Portal to Ascension. Just 2006. Fast forward, after years of conspiracy theories and thinking that the elite are out to get me, I shifted, created this group, and by 2008 it became Portal to Ascension. And here's a couple of flyers that of the first two tours that we did. One was called the Galactic Remembrance Tour, where it was a channeling tour where we were doing sound healing in the beginning. That was with my friend Brad Johnson, who channels Adronis. And then we did a sound and vibrational activation tour. So this is really the beginning of Portal to Ascension, doing live events, hitting the road. Um, and doing live events, hitting the road, and just basically doing it for donation or just getting enough of ticket sales from one event to take us to another city. So we would go up and down from San Diego all the way to Vancouver multiple times on tour. I did that journey maybe like 5 or 6 times, and that was where we cultivated these experiences of Portal to Ascension events. And then we go forward into 2012, where my wife and I created two events, one in 2012, one in 2013. The first one was called Cosmic Reunion 2012. And you can see Anelia Benz, Bashar, Laura Eisenhower, Cynthia Crawford, they were all a part of it. And then we had Brad Johnson there and some other ones. These are the milestone events that made me realize that we really had something here. Speakers were coming from all over the world to be a part of this, and people were joining it. So 2012, which is interesting, right? Because December 21st, 2012, we're talking about the Mayans today. This Cosmic Reunion event was actually a month before December. The first 2012 one was like a month or two before December 21st, 2012. And it was also the year that Portal to Ascension really had some sort of direction. And now this is our website now that you've all probably been on. And this is how our backend currently looks. And this is how you're going to watch your replays when you go and check out the replay of this event or anything else. And again, in a couple of weeks, it's going to be updated. Now, today we're going to be going through not only videos of us and images, but also mini documentaries. There's around 4 or 5 mini documentaries that we've created in the Yucatan area. So we're going to go through like everything that I really have, and a lot of information here today. And if you want to check out any of these documentaries, including documentaries in Peru, Belize, and then soon to be in Morocco, then you can check that out on the member site on our website. So today your tour guides are myself and my wife, Sol. So we're going to be taking you through the Yucatan Peninsula and even into Belize and up into the Chiapas region to take a look at Palenque. And this is an image of my wife and myself at Palenque right there. And then your other tour guide here is going to be our really good friend Jaime that you're going to be introduced to multiple times throughout today. And Jaime is a Maya descendant that we met on our first trip down to the Yucatan, where we stayed in Uxmal, which is spelled Uxmal, which is an hour and 10 minutes south of Merida. And he was actually working at uh, the hotel there, the main hotel, which is called Uxmal Maya Resort. And he was, working the grounds as a lot of people that work there do multiple things, but he was also the resident shaman that was facilitating the temescales, which are the sweat lodges in the Maya resort. And he is a descendant of Maya. His grandfather was a shaman of the local area, and his grandfather used to actually do shamanic rituals, Maya rituals, and also facilitate the mezcales before the hotels and the resorts were actually there. And we're going to dive deep into what happened with these temescales and what is going on now in that area. So this is our friend Jaime. You're going to see him quite a lot. And when we go on the tour, taking people down there in November, Jaime is going to be with us probably for a good chunk of the tour, maybe like up to like maybe a quarter of the tour he's going to be there as well, since he's going to facilitate not only the temescales for people, but also give us a tour of certain areas. So, and now Jaime has become such a good friend. His family is good friends with us, and you can see here his family. This is us at I don't even know what the first image is, but that's us just hanging out somewhere. And oh yeah, that's the image that we took with him before we left Yucatan on the left here, before we left the Yucatan the last time that we went. And here is on the right his whole entire family that lives in the heart of the Yucatan in Santa Elena, which is 20 minutes from Uxmal. And these are all Maya descendants, and they've become like a second family down in the Yucatan, where we're going to be working together for a long time and helping build that area, and hopefully helping their family become independent of the hotels and working from there, so that we can create something in the Yucatan that is Portal to Ascension, but run by Jaime and his family. And here is the image here of the tour. We were going to go in November of last year, and then we pushed it back. So now it's November of this year, and it actually starts on my birthday. So if it all works out perfectly, we'll be celebrating and all meeting up in Merida, which you're going to see Merida. We're going to be meeting up in Merida on November 17th at night and have my birthday dinner, and then we're going to start the tour from there. And you can find out more about that under our website. So now here we go. Why did I choose the Maya? Right. Well, firstly, and like the utmost reason really is that because I 100% resonate with the area, like so hardcore. When I go there, sometimes I feel like I want to cry. Like I have like just this energy of like remembrance, and I don't say that lightly because I'm not like always having those realizations, and even if I do, I don't really say it. But they're one place in the world that I feel that huge connection to, that I would spend a lot of my life in, and we've already gone there many times because of this. Is the Yucatan. And then also, I wanted to explore the ancient Indian connection because there is something there. My wife had told me for a while that, many similarities to the food that's descendant from the indigenous people in the area, to the people, to the words, have this huge connection to ancient India. And when I'm saying India, I'm talking about India from India, Indio de la India. So we wanted to explore the ancient Indian connection and find out if there was any similarities. And we did actually come across quite a few. It needs a whole entire new presentation, and we need to go back down there again. I have to really get some information out in regards to that, but I wanted to find that out. And also, I was curious about Maya architecture and the specific purposes, right? Like all these structures, so many, and they're just called temple this, pyramid of this. And but what would they actually used for beyond what we've been told that they've been used for? Also, why did I choose the Maya area? The accessibility of the ancient sites. Like you can go to many places in the world, even Egypt. There's a lot of accessible sites there, but there's still so much that you can't even see or get to, or is closed off. And in the Yucatan, the sites are just it's a democratic country. It's easy to go there. It's based on tourism. It's very safe in most of the area, and so it's extremely accessible. So it's a really great place to explore. Now, even though I'm saying that, over half of the Maya Peninsula, I think it's safe to say over half of the civilization has not yet been excavated. So they have not either found it or they're unable to get to it because it's so deep in the jungle. So these things are coming up all the time. So that's another reason there's so many new discoveries occurring often in this area. We only have really scratched the surface when it comes to understanding who these people were. And also, I don't know if you've been told this. When I started learning about Central American indigenous tribes, specifically the Maya, I was told that they vanished. That either one, they just completely disappeared, and people are trying to figure out where they are, right? And or two, the Spanish came, and through disease, the Mayas were wiped out for the most part. So, obviously we've been there and we've connected with Maya people. So, what is the truth behind this whole story of if the Maya had vanished? The Maya civilization, who were they? They occupied southeastern Mexico in the Yucatan and Chiapas, as well as countries of Guatemala and Belize, as well as the western portions of the Honduras and El Salvador. New evidence suggests that the Maya have descendants in North America as well. So we're going to touch on that a little bit, but pretty soon my wife and I should be going and doing some videos and footage to try to figure that part out as well. But you can see here in this image, the orangish reddish color is the extent of the Maya Empire, and it expanded a little more, but that was it for the most part. And then we have the Olmec over there, which were, coexisted with the Maya at one time. That's in the yellow, which is just north, closer to Mexico City, on its way up to Mexico City, and in Veracruz area right there. So we have the Olmec and the Maya Empire. The Maya Empire existed longer than the Olmec, but they did overlap for some time. And the Olmec actually took over some abandoned structures of the Maya. Take care. Bye bye.